I can't be successful relationally if I'm not sober. I can't be successful spiritually if I'm not sober. I can't be whole emotionally if I'm not sober. I cannot advance professionally if I am not sober. And the enemy understands the importance of our sobriety, and this is what is often under attack. He attacks you by attacking your sobriety. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we must be intentional about grooming and growing our love for God, our love for ourselves, and our love for others to the degree that we become willing to perpetually, not seasonally, not periodically, not temporarily, but perpetually do the inner work to properly manage unbridled emotions. Busting windows out of a car is an expression of emotions that are unbridled. Come on, talk to me. We must be willing to do the work so that we can grow spiritually, so that we are influencing ourselves emotionally, so that even though we have feelings, feelings don't have us. Listen, when you get better spiritually, everything gets better. Spiritual life is not the only important part of your life. It is the most important part of your life because it affects every other part that's important. But you don't get stronger spiritually accidentally. It takes intentionality. You need to get fed, and you got to learn how to understand, how to interpret, how to apply, and how to explain the Bible. The Bible's the blueprint to your best life. And I'm going to tell you, Sunday's not enough to give you the tools that you need to get better with the Bible. I want you to join me in my community called Bible U, where I help you take your understanding, your application, and your explanation of the Bible to another level. Because it's one thing for feelings to be in us. It's another thing for us to be in our feelings. Come on, church. Therefore, those of us who are prioritizing purpose must embrace the following axiom. This is for my note takers. My success requires my sobriety. That I can't be successful if I'm not sober. I can't be successful relationally if I'm not sober. I can't be successful spiritually if I'm not sober. I can't be whole emotionally if I'm not sober. I cannot advance professionally if I am not sober. And the enemy understands the importance of our sobriety, and this is what is often under attack. He attacks you by attacking your sobriety because he knows when you're drunk, you're vulnerable. My God, when you're drunk, your decision making is impaired. When you're drunk, you link up with people that you would not link up with. Where is the 12:30 today? When you are sober, when you are drunk, you entertain things that you would not entertain when you are sober. And this is why some of you need to pray new friends into your circle. This is why some of you need to get in a change group. Because when you drunk, but you got friends around that are sober, your sober friends will keep you from being destroyed in your drunken state. Will somebody pause right now and thank God for sober friends? When you were about to send that text, they said, don't you send that text. When you were about to pull up, they said, give me your keys. When you were about to go back, they reminded you of why you left in the first place. Thank God for sober friends. Girl, where you going? Turn around, come back home. You need some give me your keys people in your life. So when I say sobriety, people think intoxication. And when we say intoxication, culturally, people only associate intoxication with alcohol. What I'm arguing today is that alcohol is not the only intoxicating agent. What I am actually arguing is that one of the most dangerous forms of intoxication is emotional intoxication. When there is an emotion that is so unmanaged and so unbridled that it clouds and impairs your reasoning and your judgment, and it allows you to be okay with behavior temporarily that you would not be okay with long term. Come on now, it puts you in a I don't care mindset. When an I don't care mindset is always seasonal, it never leads to full relief. Because when a person hurts you, hurting them never hurts them enough to heal you. Did you hear what I just said? When you hurt them, you realize hurting you didn't stop me from hurting. So now I want to hurt you some more. Am I making sense here? And the enemy understands this, which is why he is after our sobriety. And maybe this is why Peter says in 1 Peter 5:8, be alert and of sober mind. Why, Darius? Because your enemy prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. So it means I don't even have to be strong to avoid being devoured. I just need to be sober. Are you here? Maybe this is why Solomon, one of the, besides Jesus, wisest men to ever live, says this in Proverbs 29:11. Only a fool gives full vent to their rage. He didn't say a fool, only a fool has it. He said only a fool gives full vent to it. Has no filter, has no boundaries, just emotionally unloads. He says, but the wise bring calm in the end. Y'all missed it. They bring calm in the end. It means that they are subject to, the wise are, the same kind of tendencies and practices as fools. It means that they may begin to temporarily engage in some of the same tendencies and practices of the fool. But the wise get a revelation of their behavior mid-action. And they're able to catch themselves and reel themselves back in. All of the perfect people be quiet. But if you're glad God reeled you back in, y'all not talking to me. Some of y'all just sit there and don't say anything. But if you've ever been on the edge of some self-sabotaging behavior and God reeled you in, you ought to thank him for that. Maybe this is why James says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And slow to become angry. And slow to become angry. And slow. I love this church. It's weird. Because I hear some of you in the spirit, you just say, help me, Jesus, because I am not slow. I'm a runner. I'm a track star. I'm not slow. It does not take much. I'm all the way there. I love Jesus, but I will go there very quickly. Why? Because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Maybe this is why the Apostle Paul says in Ephesians 4, verse 26 and 27, in your anger, do not sin. One translation says, be angry, but sin not. So it means that it's okay to have the emotion of anger, but don't allow that emotion of anger to drive you to a sinful response. And then he says this, do not let the sun go down on your wrath or while you're still angry. Now, wait a minute, because some people will read that and say the sun is going down, so we need to not be angry. Guys, this is what's called the truism. It's the new covenant. It's not a law. It's a truism. What it means that you got to extract the point that Paul is making. It's the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. No, Pastor, no. It's say the. Well, what if they hurt me at night? The sun already down. I got 24 more hours to be mad. It's a truism, guys. The point is, don't live in that emotion longer than is necessary. Why? Verse 27, and do not give the devil a foothold. When I stay in that place emotionally, I allow the devil to put his foot in the crack of a door. And once he gets his foot in, he can get his leg in. And once he gets his leg in, he can get his torso in. And once he gets his torso in, he can get his body in. But it starts with a foot. And I love Bruno, but when it comes to anger, we are not leaving the door open. We are closing the door because we will not give the enemy a foothold.